Alright, hello everybody, my name is David, and here we are playing one of my favorite games of all time. Oh yeah, this game is a major nostalgia trip for me. I played this game so much when I was a child. Eventually, I got it on an emulator and just played it a lot. This game holds so much memories for me. It made me a Sonic fan to this day, even if some of the most recent Sonic games are complete crap. Honestly, this game isn't too bad, so I probably won't be playing through all 4 teams in one video. It'd just be too long. But I definitely will split it up into 4 videos, and then the last story I might either lump it in with the last story that I do, or just make it its own separate video. But for now, let's start with Team Sonic.
Let's blast through with Sonic speed! Okay! Alright! Yo, Tails! Long time no see!
Sonic, check this out!
Guess what, Sonic Heroes? I finally developed the ultimate weapon. In 3 days, I'll conquer the world. Think you can stop me?
Sounds like an invitation to party.
What are we gonna do, Sonic?
No worries. We've got this one. Ha! Think I'd miss this? Time to crack that Eggman wide open! Yeah, let's party!
Alright, here we are in Seaside Hill, a pretty iconic area, mostly because it looks exactly like Green Hill Zone if it were in 3D, I think. Yeah, this is Sonic Heroes. It's a game that I played, like I said earlier, I played a lot of as a child, and it's a game that, for me, I just can never tire of. I think the level design, the gameplay, just works fine for me. Maybe it's all just nostalgia, actually, that keeps me liking this game and coming back to it even after almost 19 years, because yeah, this game came out in 2003, which my age for that would mean this game came out when I was 2 years old, and I definitely didn't play it during that time. I was too young, but I do remember, I think I was 5 years old when my dad bought the game, and I assume he bought it because, you know, he saw, oh look, it's a game of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I played Sonic when I was younger with my other son, you know, that being my brother, so I'll get it for my own son, and I'm glad he did. And it's pretty funny because this game is the only game that I had 3 copies of that wasn't for separate consoles, because we had an Xbox, and the first time I got the game, the first copy got very scratched and I couldn't use it anymore. The second copy, I think I lost, or it was stolen, I'm not really sure. Either way, it was gone. The third copy, my dad bought it for me and was like, alright David, this is going to be the last time I buy you this game, do not lose it. And I never did lose it, but, you know, eventually, when the Xbox 360 came out, and we eventually moved, it got lost to the sands of time, so who knows where it is now. It might be in the garbage, rotting somewhere. But, well, thank goodness we have emulation to, not have to worry about that. We can play our own games from olden times. But, yeah, this game, for me, just works so well. You know, I always thought that Sonic's attitude and how Knuckles was so cool with his punching combos, as you can see on screen right now, made him such an interesting character. And Tails, I mean, Tails, I didn't really think much of, but it was still cool that it's hey look, it's a fox that can fly, right? So this was my first Sonic game that introduced me to it, and I think my next Sonic game after would actually be Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, which dear goodness, that game, it's just better to forget some things. But after that, you know, I played Sonic Unleashed. After that, I kind of fell off. Oh my, what was that? I kind of fell off playing other Sonic games, but I always was interested. I watched Let's Plays of Sonic games. I looked up Sonic forums to see what the next game is, and then I've kind of died down being a Sonic fan. But even to this day, it's my childhood, and I can never take away the charm that this game showed me, or how fun it was. I guess one thing we can talk about is what the game does. It's basically you're going through I think it might be 7 acts or something. It's basically there's going to be 2 stages and a boss for each act, right? And it kind of follows the classic formula of old Sonic games, where each act has a certain theme to it. And the first theme, you know, Seaside Hill, and the next level we'll see, the theme is all beach theme, or ruins theme, I guess is one way to put it as well. Ocean ruins. You know, it's pretty interesting. I think the themes work well for a kid's game. And they're all visually striking. Also, not to mention the music. The music is always a top-tier choice when we're talking about Sonic games. But I think this game's particular soundtrack is just so good, especially for one level, and we'll get to that soon enough. But we'll experience it all, not to worry. This Team Blast is pretty useful. It's basically a screen nuke, just to get rid of all enemies on the screen. It is very helpful when dealing with a lot of enemies, or if you feel like you're about to get hit, don't want to lose your rings, well, just go ahead and use it. But we're pretty much at the end of the level. So yeah, that's the first stage, Seaside Hill. And we got ourselves an A rank. I'm probably not gonna be trying as hard to get all A ranks. I mean, I'll do my best in each level, and if I get an A rank, cool. But if I don't, I'm not too worried. If I die, I'm not gonna restart. Just keep rolling with it. I'm just here to play Sonic Heroes for all of you. Maybe help you fall asleep, because these long play videos, you know, they're good fodder for like helping you try and fall asleep. Or maybe you actually are watching this in some background, in which case, no matter what it is, I appreciate you for sticking around. But anyway, here we are in Ocean Palace, and this definitely shows the ruins theme of the first act. We are still technically in the ocean theme, but you know, there's a lot of troubling pathways that can crush you. There's a lot of different things that can come at you, but not bad for a starter level. Alright, so right here is a key. This key is actually important for the Chaos Emeralds, because unlike previous games, you know, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, the Chaos Emeralds are technically optional. I mean, if you want to get the true ending, just like some classic Sonic games used to make you do, where you have to get all of the Chaos Emeralds in order to get the true ending, this game also has the same thing. You have to collect the key in the second stage of each act in order to unlock the special stage, and through that special stage you get the key. Now, there is a key in the first stage of each act, but that one just leads you to a special stage of earning extra lives. And I can just show that off in the next stage as well. But if you want to get the Chaos Emeralds, that's basically you getting the key in the second stage of each act, and that's what I did. You gotta make sure you also don't get hit, because if you get hit once, then that key is gone. Luckily, a lot of stages have multiple key chances. I'm pretty sure Ocean Palace itself has a key opportunity right at the last checkpoint as well, so if you lose that key, then you can take a death and get the key again. But for now, I'm not planning to get hit. But if I do get hit, well then what can you do, right?
This turtle is swimming with a block on his back.
Look at all this mystical stuff. You gotta wonder how big these turtles truly are, because if Sonic is a standard hedgehog next to a turtle, these turtles might as well be the size of actual humans, probably even bigger, right? I mean, if we're going off of the Sonic Adventure scale, where Sonic is like half the size of a human, then these turtles are basically living giants, right? So, I don't know, something fun to think about. I do have to say that a lot of these enemies can be a bit annoying, because one thing that they introduced that hasn't been seen in any game at all is the addition of health bars, and as well as the level up system. So your character can either pass a checkpoint or collect a power core or pick up one of these item boxes just like this one right here to level up, and the more they level up, the more powerful their attacks get. Most of the time, like when you're starting out, or when you start a level, you'll be at level 0 basically, and that sucks because say you're playing Sonic, a homing attack only does 1 damage, and most enemies have like a, you know, a 3 health bar. Well, if you're playing Sonic, then that's annoying. You have to homing attack them 3 times. Usually you want to use Knuckles for any health bar characters at the beginning, but eventually once you level them up, it shouldn't matter because you'll be doing enough damage. And now we get to the chase scene. You gotta make sure you don't go too fast in this chase scene, because this rock tends to rubber band pretty badly, meaning if you're going too fast, then the rock itself will also start going too fast. And as I say that, I pick up speed shoes that make me go faster, so well, we better hope we don't get hit so that we can keep our key. And I think we're good. Made it to the end, and we hit the goal ring.
Yes! Perfect!
Indeed it was. Alright, here we are in special stage. This is special stage 2 for Act 1, and the concept is very simple. You want to collect these orbs, and then you can boost to get closer to the Chaos Emerald. You can either mash like I used to as a kid, or realize that that's not what you're supposed to do and just hold down the boost button, and eventually you'll catch up to it no problem, just like that. And the faster you collect the Chaos Emerald, the higher you score, meaning more 1-ups at the end, as you can see right there. But alright, first Chaos Emerald down.
Stop your futile efforts. You'll just make fools of yourself.
I think you got that backwards, Doc.
Alright, so here we are fighting the Egg Hawk. Basically after the 2 stages of an act, you'll always have a boss fight. And this boss fight's pretty simple. All you have to do is just run at the Egg Hawk until he gets to one of these platforms and kind of hang back so that he can actually land. once he does land, then it's just free reign to just do as much damage as you can. And usually you want to use Knuckles for this part because he does the most damage, as you can see right here. And it's an easy boss fight, just doing that.
This isn't the end!
All right. Ready for the junk pile.
Pretty standard boss fight. Not bad for a first time too.
Looks like Eggman escaped into the city.
Eggman's robots are taking control of everything.
Let's find Eggman and show him the real power of teamwork.
This must be an automated energy plant.
Energy plant?
So that's energy flowing through those red pipes.
Alright, so here we are in Grand Metropolis. This stage, along with the next stage, the central theme is just a futuristic city, and I think it's pretty alright for a theme for Sonic. But I guess one thing that we can talk about, which is something I'm gonna have to deal with if I want to keep this playthrough going, is the other stories. So Sonic's story is pretty standard. It's just, you know, it's regular Sonic Heroes gameplay. You know, it's probably different from other Sonic games, you know, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, where this time you're controlling 3 characters instead of just 1. But it's not that bad because of the fact that it's, you know, the gameplay is pretty simple. And, you know, going through the levels doesn't seem like a chore. Also, let me collect this key just to show off the first special stage of each act. But, basically what I'm trying to say is this Team Sonic story is pretty standard when it comes to the game itself. Team Dark's story is considered the harder story because the levels are longer, there are more enemy placements, and that's mostly it, so they are considered the harder story. Team Rose's story is considered the easy beginner story, and that's mostly because their levels are shorter, their Team Blast is broken beyond any reason, and what else? Yeah, that's about it. They just have better or shorter levels. And then Team Chaotix, my goodness, Team Chaotix. If you know anything about Sonic Heroes, you know that Team Chaotix is by far the worst story to play through because instead of being like Team Sonic, Dark, Rose, their missions aren't necessarily get to the goal ring. I mean, some of them are, but most of them are mission-based missions, meaning, for example, the first mission for Team Chaotix is finding 10 hermit crabs inside of Seaside Hill. Now, at first, that's fine because there's 20 hermit crabs in total in the level, and you only need 10 of them, right? So you don't need the full amount, and that's great, you know? But you then get to, say, Grand Metropolis for Team Chaotix, and the whole mission is to destroy all of Eggman's robots. All 85 of them. There is not 86, there is not 87, there is only 85 robots in the whole level. And if you missed one, well, you better hope it was early on in the level, because most Team Chaotix missions that are like that have a flower at the end that Charmy can interact with to take you back to the start of the level. That means you have to go through the entire level all over again looking for that one robot you missed. And you better hope it was at the beginning of the level, because if not, you're spending another 3 to 4 minutes going through the entire level all for one robot that you just happen to miss. So Team Chaotix I am definitely not looking forward to, but for now we can just enjoy the fact that we're playing regular Sonic Heroes with Team Sonic, the main trio, before we have to get to the worst parts. I do also like Team Darks, mostly because it's Shadow. I do like Shadow as a character, of course, but you know, as far as playing the other stories, if I ever come back to this game just to like play it, and if I'm not planning on 100%ing it on a save file, I usually only play Team Sonic or Team Dark levels. I really can't be bothered to play Team Chaotix like at all. Team Rose maybe, but it's very rare. But Team Chaotix I can say for sure that I just don't like playing.
That was tight.
But yeah, that was Grand Metropolis. And here we are on the special stage 1 of Act 2, which, again, this is the same for every stage 1 of each act. It's the same special stage. It's similar to the next special stage, which is just you're collecting these orbs to increase your time at the bottom there. And, you know, the more you collect, the faster you get to getting to the goal. But you want to keep the time going because I'm pretty sure if you let time run out, then the special stage ends and you get nothing. But this special stage is just a way to get lives essentially. Also, as you can tell, the special stage physics in both of them are just very, very wonky. There is like nothing redeeming about them. Watch, I'm gonna try to make a turn. Oh, wow, that was actually much more smoother than I thought it'd be. Well, understand, sometimes, or actually, let me speak. Okay, and Knuckles is having a seizure back there or something. Let me explain this section. Basically, good orbs will fall, bad orbs, or bad bombs will fall sometimes by these Chow. You just want to collect the good ones to get out of this section quickly so you can keep going. But basically, the physics in this special stage can be so bad that sometimes Sonic will come to a complete stop just by trying to turn. And you know, sometimes when you, especially when you jump, you just come to a complete stop sometimes. I don't know, these special stages are sometimes hard to control is all I'm saying. But luckily we got through that pretty easily. Anywho, here we are in Power Plant, and Power Plant is has one gimmick, and that's that robots are controlling certain set pieces, and you have to destroy them all in order to get rid of them. And you'll see it right here. We destroy these robots, and eventually that gate back there will destroy, and we can continue forward with the level.
Let me handle fire.
But apart from that, why, or what to say apart from what I've already said so much about this game and why I just love it so much? Like I said, it might have to do a lot with the nostalgia with it, but for me it's just so much about it just works so well in my mind that I can never hate it, because, you know, the next game that I played after this was Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. And sure, I was like 6 years old when that game came out. Or I was actually 5, I'm pretty sure. So I didn't really care that there was that many glitches. The story was complete trash. Whatever other issues the game had, I didn't care because, you know, it was a Sonic game. Now that I'm older, you know, I'm more of a... I understand now people's pain back then. Even I feel the pain sometimes when I think back on, like, wow, I really enjoyed a game like that, right? And then, you know, I played Sonic Unleashed, and that game was good for sure, but I don't know, it just didn't really hit with me too much. I come back to play Sonic Heroes, and it just feels so natural to play, like, a game of, like, that's like this, you know? Like, even though I've played more modern games nowadays, you know, I've played the new Call of Duty, I've played the new whatever they've come out with recently, modern games, GTA 5, whatever else, they just don't jive with me as much as this game does. This game is just simple, it doesn't mean to offend anything, it's just simple gameplay, and a normal story, and you can just go through it as fast or as slow as you want, and there's nothing wrong about it, in my opinion, right? But as I said, we get into this elevator section. This elevator section is just simple. It'll move up on its own, and then you just have to defeat enemies when it comes to it to get rid of these gates again. But yeah, it is a good thing that I'm doing these videos like long plays, because I've seen like Let's Plays of people, and sure, it's like they have like the effort put in to make these videos that are like you know, there's several different parts to it, and then it'll like they can divide them. For example, if they were doing videos on Sonic Heroes, they divide their videos into like, oh, I'm gonna show off one act, you know, the 2 stages and then the boss fight, and then move on to the next video. But I don't know, I think I just prefer long plays. It's also a thing like I have in real life for me, where it's like I just really enjoy looking at long videos, whether they're for you know, background noise, or if I'm trying to fall asleep. They just help me, and I hope these videos help anybody out there who might like to listen to my voice. I don't know, I've been told that my voice is somewhat soothing. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, but either way, I appreciate it if somebody says that. You know, a plan I do have for some videos is I really enjoy that game Death Stranding, so I wanted to see if I can make some commentary on what I thought about the facts of life while playing Death Stranding. I don't know if anybody would be opposed to that or be in favor of that, you know, let me know for sure, and I'd be down to do it. But I don't know, it's just, for me, it's like something to think about. Another glitch, you know? This game never glitched this bad back then. Maybe it's the emulation thing. Maybe the frames are going a little too fast, I'm not sure. But, you know, if anybody's interested in having me just do commentary videos on just random things that I find interesting, or maybe just some video game news, or just anything to talk about, really, I mean, do let me know, and I'll be sure to. I'd be happy to oblige to try and make those videos for you guys. But this elevator section, there's only 2 of them in the whole level, and they're not too bad. All you have to do is just wait for the enemies to come through, and then you have to just you can use Thunder Shoot at level 2 or 3, or you can use Sonic at a 3rd level or 2nd level as well to destroy the robots in one hit. I don't think the health bar thing is too much of a problem, because of the fact that you can level up your characters, and eventually the enemies do go down in one hit, as you can see again right there. It did get very annoying. I don't want to keep talking bad about Sonic 06, because I just don't want to talk about Sonic 06, but that game had health bars for enemies, and there was no way of getting rid of them fast, right? But you know, it's alright. But as we move into this next section, I gotta say, this section was nightmare fuel for me as a child, because as you can see at the bottom there, that energy is basically rising, you know, lava rising type thing. And for me as a child, I was just so nervous every single time I went through this section, because I always thought I would somehow mess it up and hit something on accident, or like fall behind because I'm too slow. I just could never beat this section of the level when I was younger, but now it's pretty trivial, I guess is the word to say for it, because, you know, I'm older now, I know what to do and not get as scared anymore. But with that done, we can just head straight to the bull ring.
Was tight.
Nice. But we're gonna head off into the second Chaos Emerald special stage. And they do indeed get harder as the game goes on. Luckily, Act 2 Special Stage 2 isn't offensive just yet. I mean, as you can see, this section right here is literally just a straight line. So you just get the Chaos Emerald really easily like that, as long as you don't hit those bombs early. But yeah, that'll do for second Chaos Emerald.
Gotcha, my darling Sonic.
Amy, what are you doing here?
Sonic, this time there's no way out of marrying me. Sonic, give up. This time you're mine.
Alright, so we're doing character battles just like in Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Each character battle can be defeated in essentially the same way. All you have to do is just keep spamming the tornado attack and eventually they should all fall. Another thing you can do is also just spam Tails with Thundershoot, and it's a pretty easy boss fight.
Sorry, but we're in a hurry.
Boy, Amy sure doesn't give up that easy.
What is this place? Sure is bright
We
here.
got some time. Feeling lucky?
Sonic, we only have 24 hours left.
Okay, let's go.
This entire city is like a giant casino.
The buildings and roads are all part of a pinball table.
Pretty cool.
Alright, so here we are in Casino Park. Act 3 is all casino themed. If you were big on Sonic back in the 90s, you know he had a lot of levels that involved pinball, Casino Night Zone, or Casino Street as well from Sonic 4. Although Sonic 4 came out way after this game. Sonic has a history with casino levels is all I'm saying, and pinball. But yeah, this level is pretty strikingly fun, I guess, is the word to put it. And we're just gonna go ahead and skip a lot of the pinball physics because a lot of this pinball is really annoying. For some reason, the characters really enjoy just not following pinball physics. I mean, as you can see there, I was supposed to go all the way to that middle area right there, but because for some reason they like to keep their momentum from in their original direction, they just refuse to go any sort of way. You just need to understand the pinball physics are really, really wonky and very annoying, and I have been stuck here for 30 seconds even though I should have been gone in like 5. But hopefully if I can just hit this well enough, move myself to this flipper right here, and then launch myself into the middle, and then launch myself out, and I'm out. Fantastic. Yes, this level's pinball physics are absolutely abhorrent. I do not like this level's physics. But you know what? Enough about that. Let's just focus on the game. But yeah, this level is pretty visually striking. I have to wonder what is at the bottom there, because if that's at the bottom of this pit, that image there, that's supposed to be, I don't know, Las Vegas, I guess, then that has to mean we're like close to like in space, right? Like that city seems so far down ahead that there's no way we are this high up in the stratosphere, right? But I guess, you know, this is a Sonic game. What am I even thinking about? Why am I even thinking about such a concept?
Leave it to me.
We've seen these push out levers or handles, I guess, and earlier levels, it's pretty simple, just to go up with any character. Except, actually no, Tails can do it for certain handles. But yeah, just push them out, and usually it'll open up to hidden goodies, or it'll progress the level. So nothing much to think about on that one.
Level up. Got it. Level up.
But yeah, this level again, just so pretty. A lot of this game has very pretty levels, except for one. There is one level in this game that I will never accept. And ooh, there we go. You know, I guess one thing I should probably explain is the slot thing, because this level, along with the next level for the casino stages, has slots. All you really have to do is just put any of the characters inside one of the slots, and it'll basically give it a multiplier. So the more balls are in it, basically the characters, the higher the multiplier. So say Sonic goes in there, well, it's a multiplier of 1, Tails multiplier of 2, and Knuckles multiplier of 3, as long as all characters are together, right? And depending on what you get for the slots, that's how many rings you'll get. And sometimes you can even lose rings if you get Eggman as one of the slot machine things. I mean, you can also just not get any slot correct. Like say you get 2 Sonics and then an Eggman, then that doesn't do anything, I'm pretty sure. But apart from that, yeah, it's just basically playing slots to fuel your child gambling addiction. But luckily, Casino Park is, apart from the pinball physics, it's pretty inoffensive. That was the whole level, and now we're at the goal ring.
Yes. Perfect.
Very, very nice. Alright, here we are in Bingo Highway. Well, as the name suggests, this level has one gimmick, and unfortunately, thanks to pinball physics, we still have to play around with that gimmick. But essentially, what that gimmick is playing bingo, and we'll see that pretty soon, not to worry. But I guess just to talk about anything, we can talk about how Sonic's future is currently going, because as of recently, the Sonic movie, the second Sonic movie came out, and oh, whoops, missed that. Well, don't worry, there will be another opportunity for it later. Basically, the Sonic movie came out recently, and that was a huge success for video game movies in general, because that movie just broke all the limits, I guess is the way to put it. It had so many references to like the classic Sonic games, so many entertainment moments for the average viewer to watch, right? It was just a good movie all around, and there's also the fact that Sonic Frontiers is coming out pretty soon as well. And Sonic Frontiers, from what we've seen, is going to be open world Sonic game, and that's something that people have been asking for months, right? Like, we've been waiting for any sort of like open world Sonic game where we can just run through at Sonic speeds and, you know, just be Sonic the Hedgehog. So from what we can see right now, Sonic's future is looking very, very good. We can expect a really good game, hopefully. The Sonic movie 2 came out, and I'm not gonna say any spoilers. All I can say is there definitely seems to be there's gonna be a third movie. There has to be. Honestly, Sonic's future is looking great, and that's good, because if you know anything about Sonic in recent times especially, he has not had a good track record, right? Like we had, you know, Sonic Colors, absolutely fantastic, right? That's something I think we can all agree on. That Sonic Colors was really good. But then you have the release of Sonic Lost World, and you're like, okay, that's like a step in the wrong direction, but it's not too bad, right? It's just one game, you know? But then they release Sonic Boom, and the only thing good to come out of that franchise is, well, the cartoon show. The cartoon show is pretty legendary. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it for sure. But then we got Sonic Boom, and you know everybody was just not gonna have it anymore. If that was gonna be the case for Sonic games, if what Sonic Boom was, if that was gonna be the future of Sonic games, nobody was confident about anything, essentially, right? So you have now, after Sonic Boom, you had Sonic Forces, and while people were like, wow, this is cool, we have our own original characters from DeviantArt now, the game is 3 hours long, and we all thought it was going to be something different. I especially thought it was going to be a sequel to Sonic Chronicles, a game that was also pretty bad, but you know, it could have been a sequel, and it could have tied up any loose ends, because Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood ended with a cliffhanger, right? Like, we didn't know if Eggman was gonna take over, I don't know, City Escape? I'm not really sure what that city was. But, you know, he had that city on the ropes, and it ended on a cliffhanger, so I thought Sonic Forces would continue that story, but no, it's just Eggman actually won against Sonic, which was cool, but then Infinite was super underdeveloped, and you just got a game that just ended so fast. By the way, this is a favorite thing of mine. So sometimes when your characters fall off the edge, they're unusable, and if all your characters fall off the edge of the pinball section, then you can't use them. But instead of us going down all at once, I'm just gonna send Tails down. So that way, if Tails falls off the edge, Knuckles and Sonic are still alive, so I'll teleport to them, and they'll be on solid ground, therefore making it non-existent that I had to ever sacrifice one of my characters. Except for Tails, he is cannon fodder. But, you know, I just hope that Sonic Frontiers is a game that will hopefully bring Sonic back, right? It'll hopefully bring him back to his old glory day of, like, they constantly tried to replicate Sonic Colors, and they couldn't. By the way, that's what I meant, of having Tails go off by himself, because, you know, Knuckles and Sonic are safe, so I can just teleport back if I die. But I just hope Sonic Frontiers is the start of a golden age of Sonic-related media, right? Whether it's movies, whether it's another TV show, like they said they were gonna make, just anything to make Sonic come back to those days of where he was an icon of the gaming industry, right? Not just like Sega's lost child or whatever you want to call it, right? I just hope Sonic Frontiers is good, is all I'm saying. But as we approach this last section, we're gonna hope we get into the middle part, because that middle part is basically a shortcut and aerial bingo. And this is one of the only times you can get a perfect bingo, which I doubt I will get, but I shall do my best. And I messed up already. Oh well, I can get a pretty decent bingo here. There we go. And we can just beat the level right there.
Perfect!
And here we are on Special Stage 2 of Act 3 to get the third Chaos Emerald. A lot of people always say they have lots of trouble collecting this Chaos Emerald, and I remember having some struggles when I was younger. It might have to do with the fact that, you know, getting to the stage is difficult. You know, you have to, like, what is it? You have to get through all of Bingo Highway without falling to your death or getting hit, especially since you don't get a bubble shield until later. But you know, a lot of the special stage difficulty just mostly comes from the stage itself before getting to the special stage, right? So luckily, if you're good enough, you don't have to worry about the difficulty of getting the Chaos Emeralds, unless you hit the bombs a lot, of course.
Eggman!
Why not have some fun while you can? After all, you only have one day, and we know who's going to win. Get them!
Right, here we are in Robot Carnival, and this is essentially just a robot gauntlet of just fighting a lot of Eggman robots that come in waves. Just simple, you know, just beat a lot of the enemies to death as fast as possible. And that's how you get your A rank, the faster you do it. But it's pretty inoffensive, you know, just beat on the enemies and you should be all good. While this goes on, I can, I guess, talk about the rest of what I was mentioning earlier about Sonic's Golden Age and how I truly believe that with enough encouragement from players, because, you know, the only reason we got such a good Sonic 1 movie was because we very much made ourselves vocal about Sonic's redesign and how it was very not good. Luckily, Sega gets the message, seeing that, you know what, people really do care about Sonic the Hedgehog, and we want to make sure that our fans aren't misled. So Sonic Frontiers looks to be that, like, game that's gonna be make it all well, because, you know, again, it's a game that's gonna be open world Sonic, and from what I can tell, the map is gonna be giant. You know, looking at that one image of Sonic standing on that hill or whatever it was, or on that rock, and overlooking, like, what I have to assume is the whole map, right? It looks like it's gonna be a massive open world map, filled with, like, I'm assuming upgrades to collect, maybe some tombs to explore, just something to pass the time, right? Standard open world stuff. And I hope the game is longer than what we've gotten in recent times, especially. Like, the longest games we've gotten at all were probably just 4 to 5 hours long, right? If it's an open world game, I expect to at least spend 15 hours, right, in the game itself. Just something to pass the time, and I hope it is that type of game.
All right.
But here, just beat Robot Carnival fast and you get your A rank. Very, very simple.
Tails, how much time's left?
We've got until sunset!
Tails, Knuckles, give it all you got. Full speed ahead. Got it.
Alright, here we are in Rail Canyon, Act 4. This level's gimmick is all about grinding on rails, and if you're like me, especially during the early era of Sonic the Hedgehog, you hate rail grinding, because switching to rails is kind of a crapshoot. It's pretty much a gamble on whether you'll either fling yourself off or you mash the button a little too much and then you fall off on your own. But apart from that, this level isn't too awful. When you have, like, just a little bit of calmness you should be fine in landing on the rails. Sonic's hitbox is a little wonky at times, but it should be big enough where you just auto fall onto rails most of the time. And I don't feel like I clip too much into my depth, at least as much as I used to. But yeah, this game or this level is not too bad when you know what you're doing.
Level up.
There's also these trains that can appear out of nowhere. You will see them right now. And I just took a hit, that's fine. Because I had a bubble shield. But these trains that come out of nowhere, they can absolutely wreck you just like that. I thought that train would come out a lot sooner, but it did not. You just want to watch out for them, because if they hit you on a rail, there is a very high chance that it'll fling you into the bottomless pit, and then you have to start over from your checkpoint, right? But as long as you know you've got them in your sights, you're not worried. You should be just absolutely fine.
Yeah. Level up.
But this is always a tense moment, right? It's always the, oh, am I gonna land on the rail, and am I not gonna land on the rail? If I fall, what do I do? Do I just restart the level to try and get that A rank, or do I just keep going? For me, if I fall off at any point during this level, during this recording, I'm just gonna not restart at all. I think I mentioned that earlier, but I'm not here to try my hardest or to get all A ranks in each character, because that's just unfathomable. There's no way I'm gonna get all A ranks in Team Chaotic's story, right? And even this story's Final Fortress level, you know, the Final Fortress or the final level of the game, for me it's just unfathomable for me to get A rank in Final Fortress for Team Sonic. So I'm just here to just complete the level as fast as I can, essentially. Or just get through the whole game on its own.
What a wild ride.
And we get to the section where we can actually control Tails on his own, because we have to light up these switches and leave each character on their own. And Tails on his own throws these dummy rings and they do damage, so if you're left with him in character battles, he's kind of useless, I guess. So if you're doing character battles, whether in multiplayer or the story, you best hope Tails isn't your last man standing. Just jump in. Right here in this section, I like to go slow because there are trains that pop up at the bottom that can hurt you, like right there, we just passed by. And then just wait for a bit until all the trains at the front have stopped, and then just get ready to dodge each train like this.
Look out! Sonic, look out!
Yes, Tails, I understand. I am not worried about much right now because I am doing just fine. And luckily I managed to get on the hill. Couldn't get that one up if I wanted to, but you know what? We're just not gonna take risks. If any time I'm scared, you'll probably see me switch to Tails, because if I fling myself off, well, Tails is there to fly me out of the problem. But luckily the level is about to end right here, so there's not much to worry about anymore now that we're done with that.
That was tight. Because we're getting closer to the center.
Alright, so here we are
Heading in the right direction.
in Bullet Station, and there's no real gimmick to this one. It's standard, like, you know, it's still part of the whole desert theme that Act 4 is going for. I guess desert is the theme, I'm not really sure. I guess canyon desert theme, right? But yeah, there's not much to this level. I'd like to talk actually about the most recent games I've been playing. So, as if you've seen my other video that I uploaded, you know, I did a speed run on Elden Ring, and Elden Ring, you know, I beat like a while ago, obviously before I did my speed run, and that game honestly definitely deserves Game of the Year. If no other game has come out for this year, the only contender might be God of War Ragnarok, but I can't even say that yet until the game is out, right? But, you know, Elden Ring came out, and it was such a breath of fresh air to have, like, a game that was actually completely finished and not some easy cash grab because it's like, oh, it's coming from this game studio who developed these other games, right? Like, it's just... the game is polished, it's finished. Sure, there were the compatibility issues and all those issues of like the game running poorly and stuff, but apart from that, it just, to me, it wasn't that noticeable at all, even if I did have issues with running the game, right? It just wasn't that bad, and the game, again, it's, I hate that I have to say this, but the game was actually finished. There's not many games that do that anymore, and that's just sad. So, you know, I also just started playing The Witcher 3 again, and that game absolutely deserved Game of the Year when it came out. The fact that Blood and Wine, the DLC, was actually considered for a Game of the Year award should tell you something. It just shows the quality of it, right? And it makes it kind of sad because then I hear a lot of people saying that, you know, Cyberpunk 2077 was bad, and I understand at launch it was very, very buggy, but they've released, you know, it was made by CD Projekt Red, and if there's anything about CD Projekt Red, because, you know, they made the Witcher series, one thing you can absolutely say about them is they care, and they kept like releasing patches for the game to make sure that it was the experience that everybody wanted for the game, right? What they paid for, and I'm happy to say that right now Cyberpunk is better than it was for sure when it originally came out back in 2020, right? So I am happy that that Cyberpunk devs, CD Projekt Red, actually just cares about making the game that they promised, right? And, you know, I hope that somehow they're not like talked about problems and oh my goodness, my frames, the emulator is having a very sad time. Not to worry, it should stabilize soon enough. The audio quality is a bit scuffed, just bear with us for a second. It should stabilize very soon, like I said. Oh, there we go. But anywho, continuing on with what I was saying, you know, I really wish more game devs would actually care about their fan bases, because we have so many like stories of games coming out completely unfinished, and it was all because the game developers just wanted a quick cash grab. I mean, one of the biggest examples is Battlefield 2042, a game I paid $90 for because I was so excited to play another Battlefield game, and then it comes out and it's total crap. You know, it's not a good game. I don't know what to say. It's just sad. It just saddens me that games nowadays aren't coming out with the quality that they used to, you know. But I'm happy to say that Elden Ring, The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk now, you know, a lot of other games I've played, you know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, despite the fact that Ubisoft still has that whole microtransactions in single-player games, dumb stuff, right? Those are all very good games, and I'm happy that we're getting good games now, but it is sad that I have to say that, because it shouldn't be like that. It should just be game devs are like, yeah, we're gonna give you a game that's complete, that's fun to play, and something that you believe you paid for, right? Like something that you can say, you know what, I'm okay that I paid $60 for this game, you know? Something like that. I just hope we can go back to that era of gaming.
Now, Knuckles, destroy that engine core.
I don't know. I'm just rambling, I guess. Maybe one day we'll return to that. Alright, so we get to our first bob cart, or bobsled section. This first one has lasers that you have to avoid. They're the very pink / red. I'm not sure what color any of you see them. You just avoid them. If all of your if you get hit 3 times, then you have to restart the section at the checkpoint. You basically take a death, right? But luckily, since this is the first bobsled section, it's pretty inoffensive. You don't have to worry about anything, except for this one section right here. Once you're done with it, just hope you don't miss that rail, because it is very hard to see, considering the fact that the word "pass" is like in front of you and you can barely see the rail at the bottom. But luckily, we didn't have to worry about that too much. And then just hit these switches again, and then we can just head off into the gun cart again. And how Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles know which cannon to shoot out of to hit Eggman's base is beyond me, but I suppose they just, you know. Let's do a quick ring dash just to get a huge point bonus, and then we can finish the level.
Perfect.
Oof, but you know what? That is something to talk about. So, like I said, this game is a game that I can never tire of, no matter how much I play. I will admit, though, that this game should be taken in small doses, because some of the levels can just go on for too long. I mean, that last level, 6 minutes and 51 seconds, right? That's a lot of time for some people for any sort of Sonic level, and you know, like, because the older games, I mean, I'm pretty sure Green Hill can be beaten in 32 seconds if you're fast enough, right? Or good enough. In this game, no matter how good you are, I mean, you've seen it, I've been getting A ranks constantly. I still, like, take so much time in each level. Some of these levels just go on for too long, and I can understand that some people find that annoying. That is a valid criticism, you know? But before I continue, let me be quiet for now.
Sonic, good!
That thing's loaded with Eggman's weapons.
Eggman, you're finished.
Ready all cannons! Open fire!
There's only one way to
So
go.
here's the egg albatross. There's a very simple strategy. Is just spam the homing attack as much as you can. And then if you want to get the machine closer, just walk backwards and do the same thing again. I took damage, but not to worry, because as long as you keep homing attacking just like this, then you shouldn't take any damage, and luckily he'll be forced to get back to his egg hog form, which again is just the same egg hog that you know. And my goodness, I missed all of those rings, didn't I? I gotta be careful here, lest I get hit and lose all my stuff. But I want to get farther ahead so that I can challenge him at this section right here. And then hopefully I can just jump into him, and then again bring him back.
Got it! Shit!
And just do that. A quick, easy way to finish the egg
Pay
hog.
for this. All right.
Eggman, you'll never beat us.
And that's it for Act 4.
Once again, you fools have been tricked.
It's a bait?
From these canyons, watch as I conquer the world with my air fleet. And this time, you can't stop me.
Drat, a trap to stall for time.
Sonic,
not an Eggman robot. Sonic! Knuckles! Wait for me!
All life form data successfully copied.
Eggman! No way off the hook this time!
Alright, and here we are in Frog Forest, Act 5. Act 5's whole theme is basically, yeah, forest jungle theme, and oh boy, the second stage of this act is my most hated level in this game, but I'll get to that when I get to it. But how about that cutscene? So that was Metal Sonic. I don't think anybody needed that needed to know that because you could figure that out. Yeah, it turns out Eggman isn't the real villain of this game. I mean, if you saw the opening intro cutscene for the game, if you wait at the start menu, eventually the CGI trailer, I guess, will play out, and then you'll see Metal Sonic there. So it kind of just spoils that Metal Sonic is a true villain. But yeah, pretty interesting, I guess. But oh my gosh, okay, before we get into the worst level, let's talk about this level. I absolutely love Frog Forest. It is very calming music, I gotta say, very, luscious looking level design and colors. It's just a good level, you got giant mushrooms in the background. It's all something that I really like, right? So calming. I don't think, well, actually no, we've had several levels in Sonic history up to this point that dabbled with jungle themes and forest themes.
All right, let's go.
And they all are super good.
Hey, this is sweet.
Who'd ever think this thing could float in the air?
And then we fall through this very hollow tree, I think, which, again, we're asking the question about Sonic's proportions. If we're going off of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 proportions, then that tree is literally the size of, I don't know, it's just a giant, I guess. Like, that's one way to put it. I mean, it's huge, right? It's crazy. But, yeah, this level's gimmick is all about finding the green frogs, and these green frogs will make magical rain come out, which will help grow plants which have platforms on them to help you progress through certain parts of the level. Sometimes they'll get you to secret areas, like right here. I wait for that flower, it'll take me to this upper area, which should take me to the higher portion of this level.
We have jungle mushrooms on my island too, but not this huge.
So yeah, Knuckles comments on how giant the mushrooms are, just like the ones on his island, which is, Angel Island.
We're not going there, are we?
So that's pretty cool. As long as you know your Sonic history, that reference shouldn't be too lost on you.
Got it. Got it.
Here we go.
But yeah, luckily this level isn't too inoffensive. It's just, you got some rail grinding, you got the frogs to summon the certain platforms. It's not too bad of a level, I think. It is very exhilarating to run through these small areas of loop-the-loops. That's one thing that a lot of people say they don't like anymore about Sonic games is it's all pretty much automated, where you have loop-the-loops that you automatically go through. You have certain sections of that, like, in old games you have to wait for the physics to make you go through, but in this game it just happens, So, you know, some people don't like that, but me, I'm okay with it all.
That was tight.
You sure it's safe around here?
Alright,
Leave it to me.
we're out of Frog Forest, unfortunately, and we have to head off to my most hated
There they are.
level in the whole game. Firstly, we get introduced to this new enemy type, the heavily armored robot. It is, you know, you just use Knuckles and it should be easy pickings, I guess. You can't use Tails or Sonic to damage it, it has to be Knuckles, so... But this whole level's gimmick is basically there's these black frogs instead of the green frogs, and these black frogs will, I guess, make it rain acid rain. I'm not really sure, but it causes all of the plant life to die out, and therefore gets rid of some of your platforming. It can cause some of the fruit to come off of its stems, therefore becoming fruit that can actually hurt you as it rolls down the slopes and stuff, right? Also, not to mention, you know, like I said, Sonic Heroes has some pretty good music, some very bopping beats. This song right here is not at all good, in my opinion. I do not enjoy this level's theme. It is very... It is a little too... goes too much with the electric synthwave, I guess is the instrument. I'm not really sure. All I can say is just, I just don't like this level's song theme. I just can never think about listening to it. You know, whenever I think about Sonic Heroes music, I think about, you know, the main theme, I think about the final boss theme, I think about Seaside Hill, I think about a level that we'll get to later. I don't want to spoil it. And oh my goodness, did I just fall to my death? I did indeed! Thank you, game. Don't worry, we can continue forward, it doesn't really matter to me. But, it's, you know, I don't like this level's, like, themes at all. It's just so generic, I guess is the way to put it. I'm not sure. It's just a theme that I just can't jive with at all. And oh my god, not to mention the once we get to the later part in the level, there's a small little set piece that happens that gave me absolute nightmare fuel as a child that I could never ever get past, and you're all in for a treat when I get to that section for sure. But you know what, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Leave it to me.
But you know, just going through this level, it's not
Leave it to me.
too bad. I mean, we saw these swinging lion things a little bit in Frog Forest. You just have to time it so where whoever it is on it will be able to jump across the gap that they're trying to jump across in. Oh, interesting. I just teleported myself through that. But
Leave it to me.
yeah, these vines can be very, very inconsistent. Because sometimes the game will think that as you're heading backwards, you actually want to jump backwards, and you know what? You don't want to jump backwards, but the game thinks you want to anyway, right? So it just happens, and you can't do anything about it. So just have to deal with it a lot. It's a lot of stuff that you just don't like about this level, or a lot of stuff that I don't like about this level. But you know what? I can't say too much anymore about it because, you know, I talk a lot about how I like this game for sure, and I do like this game. But even when you have your most favorite game of all time, your favorite book, your favorite movie, your favorite whatever, there's always that one thing that happens that just makes you not like it anymore, right? Or at least not necessarily not like it anymore, but just you hate that one moment that it has, right? And for me, that's Lost Chamber. But enough talking badly about
Level up.
this level.
That was close.
One heck of a battle.
I guess some people would have fans for it because, you know, it's like a tropical swamp, you know, the wetlands type of thing going on. And you have those like mushrooms that, you know, Knuckles was talking about where he has them in his oh, excuse me. He has them in his home island. And you're all like, wow, that's really cool. I wonder if they'll like make references to anything else. And you know, I think they do at some point. Team Rose has a reference to events from Sonic Adventure 1, I'm pretty sure.
Hey, there they are.
So, you know, that's something to look forward to for sure.
Here we go.
Leave it to me.
So yeah, I know this level I'm sure has its fans. It's just to me, I just couldn't, right? But anyway, let's continue forward. I did, because I died earlier. I have to get another key. Luckily, our second key opportunity is right here. I'm pretty sure this is the last key opportunity for this level. So I have to go through it. Oh, but that's what I mean. See, I went forward, but because it wasn't to the very, very end of the rope swing, I just went backwards, and the next part, or not the next part, but the later part in this level that happens is just so
Careful not to fall.
unforgiving. If you mess it up even slightly, then, well, there goes your A rank, there goes your key,
Let's go. Okay.
there goes everything of what you did in this level up to that point. And look, the timer right now says 5 minutes long, right? And can you imagine, and the level will still keep going even after this small part, right? I think it goes on for another minute 30. Imagine getting to that last part that I'm talking about, and then you die, right? Like, wow, fantastic.
Let's go. Let's go.
But luckily, we have these green forests to help, or these green frogs to help rain. Right here at the top, there is a frog with a black frog. Just jump normally to the third platform, and then you can just fly easily. Take that easy of a shortcut. Luckily, not as offensive. Otherwise, you have to take a really, really dumb light speed dash area that I hate doing because I often end up just dying anyway.
Here we go.
This section, I like to swap to Tails just in case, and then swap back to Sonic because Sonic is the fastest on rails. Tails is the slowest, but again, he is the safest. But this section right here, I hate it the most. Right now, these black frogs are gonna make it rain, so I have to jump to the spring, and then I have to make sure I don't mess up my timing on any of these swings because this alligator really, really wants dinner. And if you even so much as mess up one tiny rope swing, then you are falling. There's no second opportunity. You cannot do anything if you get hit once. Even though I have a shield right now, if I get hit once by that alligator, it's over. I have to restart at the checkpoint, or if I want that A rank, I have to restart the whole level. All 6 minutes and 45 seconds of it, right? So I just hate this level, but luckily it's over, and that's the end of Act 5, or at least the stages of Act 5.
Sonic, Knuckles, we did it!
And luckily, since I died at the first checkpoint, usually if you die at the first checkpoint, you can get enough points and do well enough to still get your A rank. And here we are on Act 5's special save 2. I'm just going for the 5th Chaos Emerald. So again, it's just pretty simple. Just again, collect the orbs, hold down the boost button, and you'll catch up to the emerald no problem. I mean, what else is there to say about special stages at this point?
Look, it's that hedgehog.
Wonder what the big rush is all about. Bet you those guys will end up getting in my way and making trouble.
Hey, isn't that...
Sonic!
Talk about being stubborn and full of surprises.
Long time no see, boys. Too bad you had to come all this way for nothing. We'll take it from here.
What'd you say?
Sensors locked on Eggman. Non-compliant intruders will be destroyed.
Didn't you know? We have a date with Eggman, too.
Is that so? Well then, it'll be a date to die for.
Hey, that's my line.
What was with that hedgehog that looked like my twin?
Alright, so here we are with another character battle. This time it's Shadow the Hedgehog. He's alive somehow. Once we get to Team Dark, we'll get an idea on how Shadow survived his little death back in Sonic Adventure 2. But for now, we're just, you know,
Leave it to me!
we just gotta defeat him in character battle. Wherever he is, I see him. He is just... Come on, there we go, there you go.
Right! If only we had more time. Sonic, you sure this is the right way?
I saw Shadow and Eggman head this way. This has gotta be the right way.
But it's so spooky here.
Maybe that's the ghost of Shadow we saw earlier.
Woo! Stop it, Knuckles.
Alright, so here we are in Hang Castle. Act 6. Act 6's theme is all Haunted Mansion themed, and if you are a horror fan, I guess, I mean, you might not like this level because it's not that scary, but it's still an interesting theme, you know, not many games have, like, or Sonic games have that, have the scary theme going for them. I know Sandopolis and Sonic 3 had a ghost, but it wasn't really like a Haunted Mansion theme. It wasn't until probably Sonic Rivals 2 that we got another Haunted Mansion theme in Sonic games again. Although, feel free to correct me if there are more haunted themes in Sonic games. But you know, since this is a Haunted Mansion theme going on, I guess I could just tell a story, just for commentary, about my own ghost story experiences. Why don't I? So, let me start from, I guess, the beginning. So, me, myself, I like, you know, as a child, obviously, I was very scared of ghosts and stuff, right? Or actually, before I continue, we have a new enemy type, this witch-looking robot right here. This form, the blue hat, orange coat form, will heal other robots. But if you were to flip it over, say by homing attacking the thing with level 3 Sonic, or if you do the tornado attack, it'll switch to its metal form, and the metal form will drain rings from you, so make sure to make that robot your priority. But anywho, as a child, I was always scared of paranormal stuff, you know. I used to watch Ghost Adventures a lot with my dad and my brother while we waited for my mom to come back home, and I was just so terrified. Like, you know, my dad would always be like, "Hey David, go turn off the lights in the kitchen." And for me, I couldn't do that because I was just so scared that something would be waiting for me in the dark, right? Luckily, nothing ever was, right? But, you know, I was just that scared of, like, ghosts and stuff. But then, you know, as I grew older, I didn't really get too scared too much because, you know, I got older, I started to think that ghosts weren't real. I just didn't really think about ghosts, right? But then, cut to, like, a couple years later, we're living in a house, and I'm living in this house with my family, you know, my brother, my mom, my dad, and another family, you know, with my uncle, right, and his 2 sons. So we're living in this house. Now this house, the way it was positioned was the door, the front door opened up into the living room, and this living room was basically broken in half by these cabinets, and these cabinets separated basically the rest of the living room from part of it, and that part of it that was broken off was me and my brother's room, right? Because, you know, we were living in a pretty poor situation. I mean, what can you do, right? You gotta do what you gotta do to survive. So we were living like that. So
It's really steep here.
you know, you walk into the living room, part of it's blocked off, and at the back right corner is the entranceway into the hallway, right? It's like, oh, it's all open, and that hallway, looking down it, halfway through that hallway led into the kitchen, and there was a door in the middle as well that was the room for my uncle. And then even farther down the hallway was the door that led to the back area of the house, and 2 doors that led to each room, right, one on either side, like where my uncle's sons slept and where my parents slept, right, in each of those rooms. So I walk into my house, right, because my mom called me outside to help out with some groceries, and she, you know, I brought in those groceries, and as I'm turning the corner into the hallway, I'm looking down the hallway at this point, right, I see keys that are being hung on a hook, that's on the refrigerator, right, because the refrigerator's side is like on the hallway, so it's hanging on a hook. These keys. I turn the corner into the hallway, and I see these keys get picked up off of the hook, get thrown against the wall, and land in the middle of the hallway. And at first I thought, huh, that's weird, but, you know, maybe they fell off of the hook, right? Maybe they just fell onto the ground and somehow bounced into the middle of the hallway. The thing is, I distinctly remember hearing the keys hit something twice. So if it fell on the ground, then I should have only heard one sound, right, of it hitting the ground, but no, I heard 2. So I know for a fact that what I had to have heard was the keys themselves get I know, I saw it happen. I saw the keys hit my uncle's bedroom door and then land in the middle of the hallway. But of course, you know, I was like, you know what, that's clearly weird, but I'm not gonna think too much on it, because, you know, it's just a weird thing, whatever, right? But then, so I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell anybody, I didn't say anything to anybody. And then cut to a couple months later, right? Maybe 2 months later, I was with my brother, and again, our room was half of the living room, and the way it was set up was we had our bunk beds, and our bunk beds made it so that we were basically facing the hallway. The cabinets separated half of the living room, and there was a small gap to where we can look into the hallway, not all the way down it, but we can look into the hallway, right? And I was laying on my bunk bed, looking at the hallway, not like intentionally, like I was on my phone, right? And I think my brother might have been doing the same thing. So while I'm looking at my phone, I see a woman with black hair, her hair covering her face, right? And a white dress walk past our blinds towards the living room, right? And obviously we couldn't see her past, like, when she got into the living room, because you know, the cabinets were blocking our view. The thing is, the front door to our house was a 2-door, right? It had the wooden door that was inside, and then it had the metal door that was outside, you know, where like if you wanted to have the wooden door open to like let in fresh air but not let in bugs, then well, there you go, you have the metal door, right? We had those types of doors and they made a lot of sound. The thing is, I heard this woman go into the living room, but I did not hear the door open at all. Again, I brushed it off thinking, okay, I clearly saw that, but I'm not gonna say anything. And then all of a sudden, or not all of a sudden, it was more like, you know, 5 minutes later, my brother says, David, did you see that? And I was like, yeah, I saw that. And he's like, what the hell was that? And I'm like, I don't know. And he, being the brave self, he got up from the bed and went to check into the living room. And of course, nobody's fucking there, right? So me and my brother just kind of just lay down in our beds, stayed quiet. And we just started contemplating things. We were just like, what did we just see? Did we see a ghost of a woman? Did we see just some woman, like, pass into the living room and get outside without making a noise? Like, the thing is, I didn't even hear her footsteps, right? That's just crazy. So, eventually I told, like, you know, we had to tell our mom about that. So, and her being, you know, religious, she's like, oh, well, you know, who knows, this ghost is probably tied to this area, we should have it blessed. So she said a prayer and put down some holy water, and eventually the ghost stopped following us until later. But before I continue with that story, I gotta say, this level, Mystic Mansion, it continues the haunted level theme, has my favorite soundtrack of the game, because I'm pretty sure it's the only level that has a dynamic soundtrack, where as different things happen in the level, oh my, did I just get hurt? Who knows? I guess not. It has a dynamic soundtrack where certain things that happen in the level will change how it happens. How you hear how the music is right now, well, once I hit this switch, the music should start to change. There it is. Yep. It is. So yeah, this soundtrack changes to whatever is happening on screen, and it's the only level in the game to do that sort of thing, and it's very cool for me, honestly. I really enjoy that sort of soundtrack, right? But anywho, continuing on with the story. So again, my mom, you know, after hearing this story, she was like, okay, we're gonna bless this house. And then, you know, she got in a priest, I think, or she did it herself. Either way, she said a prayer, and eventually, you know, stuff like that stopped happening, right? I didn't hear any more ghost sounds, I didn't see any more ghost people, nothing, right? And now, cut to where I currently live, in my house. Now, the house that I live in currently never really had much in terms of like what I could tell was like paranormal activity, but what I can say is when I was in the kitchen washing dishes, the way the kitchen was set up was I had my back towards the rest of the kitchen. Like, say I'm washing my dishes right in my sink, and then I do a 180 turn. That 180 turn makes it so I can see the rest of the kitchen, and at the back left of the kitchen was the archway that led into the rest of the that led into the living room, right? Now, at the time, I had a dog, a really big German Shepherd, right? And unfortunately, he has passed on into the great beyond, and I'll forever miss him. But you know, I had a really big German Shepherd, and this dog always acted like a puppy. Like, he was always like friendly with other humans. Like, sure, he'd sniff them first, right? And then he'd begin getting friendly to them. But overall, he never really barked at anybody, right? But cut to one day where I'm washing dishes. I hear him walk behind me because, you know, we had tile floors, and he was a big dog. I could hear his nails like running along the floor, right? He's like scratching through the floor, sort of. And then, so I turn around to see where he is, and I see him, sure, But then I also notice, oh, before we continue, this is the same armored enemy as before. The only way to attack him is that big red button up there. I just prefer using a Team Blast because for me it's just not worth it to try and fight him like that in any sort of capacity. But anywho, my dog, I hear him walk behind me. I turn around and he looks at me for a second, but then he gets super alert. His ears go up and he starts looking at the living room, and he is dead staring at the living room, like completely like in a trance, I think, right? It looks like he's in a trance, just staring at whatever it was in the living room that caught his attention. And I tried calling out to him, you know, his name is Kodiak. I was like, hey, Kodiak, come here, or like, you know, what's wrong? What is it? And he would not listen to me. His ears would not change direction. He would not stop his gaze. He kept staring into the living room without so much as a single like a reaction to any sound. I even started clapping my hands like loudly, and he refused to pay attention to that, right? So I just kept staring at him because I was too scared to turn around for anything, right? Because if I turn around, then who knows what, right? Like, I was just that type of superstitious. But you know, I was so scared to like turn around, so I just kept staring at him. And eventually, I think 5 minutes passed before he finally like put his ears to the side, saw me, and then, you know, came up to me being like, "Oh, look, my owner's here. Let me give him a lick," right? Like that type of thing. He finally got out of his trance, whatever it was. But it was literally 7 minutes or so, I think, of him just staring at the living room, whatever it was that he was staring at, and I'll never forget that experience. I'm just forever shaken by that, right? But as we get to this section, even though I do love this level, this is the worst section of the game, I'd say. Even a little bit more than the alligator. There are ghosts that spawn. If they hit any of your characters, then you have to put them back on the pedestals, right? But the reason why I hate this part is because of this next part following up with Sonic. I have to homing attack these ghosts, and they only take one hit. So if any of my characters homing attack the rest of them, then I am screwed out of luck. And perfect. Whew, that was lucky. I've messed that up several times before in my career of playing this game. It is very scary to do that. That's why I went silent. But yeah, so that's basically my encounters with ghosts. Not entirely scary than I'm sure other people have had encounters with, but it doesn't change the fact that for me, I'll never forget those experiences, especially the fact that the one that I saw with my brother, because that one, I have somebody to back me up with that, right? Like, I have somebody to say, yeah, I also saw that, you know, so very scary stuff. But luckily, the Haunted Mansion theme is dying down right now, because once we get to this guy right here and take him out with Team Blast, because he is another helmet armored enemy, we're just not going to fight him on this tiny arena that has no ledges. We're just going to use Team Blast and get the heck out of Dodge.
That was one heck of a battle.
No problem. Piece of cake.
And that's it for the haunted level missions, or the Haunted Mansion next.
Perfect.
Anywho, here we are on Special Stage Act 6, getting the 6th Chaos Emerald. Once again, there's not really much to say, just collect the orbs and get the Chaos Emerald. Actually, I think I can show off what happens if you don't go fast enough. So, collecting orbs actually levels you up that meter at the top right, and that meter, once it reaches the maximum level, actually increases your top speed. But obviously you want to use boost to get to the Chaos Emerald as fast as possible. Now, there are certain sections where, you know, if you're too slow, the game will somewhat take pity on you. It's not random, it's always like, what do you call it? It's always, static, I guess is the word for it. But basically, the game will take pity on you and randomly give you a small section that's like this. It is basically a bunch of these star orbs in one single line so that you can just collect them really, really fast and move really, really fast as well. And that way you essentially have infinite boost. It's basically the game's way of taking pity on you if you're falling too far behind. So, if you feel like you can't get the Chaos Emerald in the level, don't give up just yet, because the game might throw you that bone and you can make the save right at the end.
Trying to stop us now? Ha, what a joke!
What did you say? Now I'm really mad. Get them.
Alright, here we are in Robot Storm. It is the exact same as Robot Carnival, just a big gauntlet of enemies. All you have to do is just, you know, homing attack them to death, or use Knuckles, Tails, whatever it is. Just defeat all the enemies in a fast enough time, and it is an easy rank.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, not much to say about this. I guess I can talk about this golden enemy right here. You've seen some golden enemies in previous levels. Basically, whenever you see a golden enemy and there's other enemies around, if you defeat that golden enemy first, then all other common enemies, not like the special enemies like the witch robot and all those other ones, but the regular egg pawns.
Leave it to me.
If you defeat the golden egg pawn, it should immediately like get rid of all of the other egg pawns around the area. So it is a pretty useful thing to go after, that golden egg pawn.
Looks like there's a bunch of them. Come and get some.
We won't give up so easily.
Luckily, Robot Storm isn't too offensive. It's just another gauntlet like that. All you have to do is just effectively use Team Blast or effectively use Tails' Thunder Shoot, because Thunder Shoot is a very, very powerful ability that just completely destroys a bunch of enemies. It's just so simple to just completely destroy enemies and wreck house, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you'll see it right now. Pretty sure the next wave of enemies is 3 armored guys, yep. So we're just gonna do this with a 3rd level Knuckles, and look at that, they're all gone. And then we have to fight this whole wall of egg floaters or whatever they're called. Just use Tails. It's a little slow, but not to worry. Just go to the side like this, and it should be easy pickings. Way easier than doing it from the front.
Smash them all.
And then we have these. I should probably explain also the golden octopus robots. Basically, the regular octopus robots, the purple ones or blue ones, they'll hold your character in place and until you destroy them. The difference between that one and the golden one is if one of your characters gets taken hold of in the golden one, after a couple seconds the golden one will disappear, and your character will be gone. The only way to get them back is to pass a checkpoint or to use Team Blast. So be careful with those golden robots because they can be very, very annoying.
That's it!
Don't get too excited, boys. Those were the easy ones.
Yes! What? That's it?
You fools must all have a death wish. Witness this invincible vampire ship built by the hands of a genius. Its power unmatched throughout the universe.
All right, Eggman. Let's get this party started.
Wow, we're flying way high.
Better not fall.
Come on, this is nothing. Let's keep moving.
Alright, so here we are at Egg Fleet. If Mystic Mansion wasn't my favorite level, this is absolutely it. Oh boy. the amount of vertigo this level gives you, the fact that you're super high up in the air. This is Act 7, by the way. The theme is Sky Base theme. As you can tell. Oh, whoop. Gotta be careful. This level absolutely gives me that sense of thrill that a lot of Sonic games should give you. The fact that, you know, you're on Eggman's main air fleet, and you're going through it all. You're going as fast as you can, destroying these cannons with, like, you know, your own cannons, destroying his robots, grinding on rails. It's just such a fun level for me, and the music, oh my goodness, again, the music is what carries a lot of this game. It's just so good. And even though it's not a dynamic soundtrack like Mystic Mansion, this one still has, it's still so good in my opinion. But yeah, there's so many different pathways you can take as well. Like you want to get that one up, well, they'll lead to the same area, but you could have taken that rail underneath you or taken this rail instead to get that one up, you know. We have a new robot type here. I like to call him Iron Man. He'll send out this laser beam. If you attack him too early, then he'll actually put up a shield and you can't damage him at all. So that's kind of annoying. So you just have to wait for that laser to come out in order to damage him. But apart from that, he's easy pickings. But yeah, this level, I mean, look around you. There's battleships shooting at you. You're flying on this weird helicopter thing. You're basically taking down Eggman's fleet. I mean, you can see his main battleship at the top right there. It's just so thrilling for me, you know? And this level is just too good, in my opinion, right? What else can I say, right? It's just so good. It's so good. And it seems Eggman has a bit of a fish theme going on. I mean, this one kind of looks like a swordfish or a sawtooth shark. I think is a sawtooth shark. I'm not really sure. Yeah, Eggman really has a thing going on here for fish. Yes, fish. So you know what? Who am I to judge the Mad Doctor for what he likes? But anyway, we're gonna keep going here, and again, this level is just standard platforming. It's a lot of just getting through everything as much as you can. Again, we got this robot again, but he's easy to take down. Just 2 fire blasts from Knuckles should be easy. And right here, you can either do Sonic's Rocket XL or just run as fast as you can with Sonic and destroy the battleship. And here we are to continue going into the level to destroy the other one and jump in time in order to get that checkpoint. Very nice. If you don't get that, then you have to go through the bottom level. But you know, this level has that standard classic Sonic design where it's like, you know, if you stick to the bottom pathway, then it's slower. You know, you have to run into walls a lot. You know, but if you stay up to into the higher pathway, then you know you keep the pace going a lot faster than staying in the lower pathway. So it's pretty good that it's like this, in my opinion. But we're gonna keep going through these big fans that I don't know if they're creating thrust for Eggman ships. If they are, I mean, I'm not really big of a physics person, but I have a feeling that's not entirely correct, right? Like, big fans like that are supposed to keep things floating. I can understand the jet engines on the other ships, but these had fans, so I mean, I don't know. Not much to think of on that end, but it's fine. Oh, let me hit this checkpoint just in case I fall off and die. But yeah, we're gonna keep going here. We're still getting shot at. Yeah, this helicopter thing is pretty simple. You just have to listen for when the characters tell you to go up or down. Or else you get sniped off and then you fall into a bottomless pit. So just be careful. Anywho, we can jump off here, head off to the end here to get a free 1-up, and just continue going. Yeah, this game, or this level specifically, awards you with exploration stuff, you know, so be sure to keep a lookout for any trinkets that you can find.
Yes. Ready anytime.
Oh my goodness, the soundtrack for this level is so good. I just can't get over it. It fills you with such like determination of wanting to beat the level, because, you know, or it just gives you that sense of like, wow, what a spectacle, you know? That type of thing. So I am very, very glad that they went with such a design in this sound choice. I think I said that a little wrong. It's alright. We're just gonna roll with it anyway. But luckily this is the last battleship. As you can see, it has similar, or it is the same structure essentially as the first battleship. It's not too offensive in my opinion for it to have two battleships. It's a way to pad out the what do you call it, the level. And you know, it probably shouldn't be, because I mean, we're about to hit the 7-minute mark, even though we're closely approaching the end. But wow, again, this level is just so good. It's definitely a second close. The only reason Mystic Mansion beats it is because of its dynamic soundtrack.
That was tight. This must be Eggman's headquarters.
The airbase!
Now here we are in Final Fortress.
Doesn't matter. Let's take it down.
Final Fortress is a level that I have sort of a love-hate relationship for. It's not the worst level, again, in the game. I mean, I understand its difficulty. It is the last level of the game, so it's supposed to be hard. But even still, especially Team Dark's version, I just don't like any version of this level. I don't know, it's just not one that I like to play too much, but you know, I can still appreciate its complexities, I guess is the word. Right, so but anyway, yeah, we're just gonna keep going forward. We can bounce. If we were fast enough, we might have been able to get that that balloon there. That balloon rewards you with a Team Blast. Oops. Let me hit the speed pad again. Or not, suppose. And I lost my bubble. That's great. All because the game didn't want me to move forward. You know what? Actually, let me just build up Team Blast meter. because I do not feel like dealing with a helmet armored enemy. I did also wish that Sonic would have gotten some power cores. That's why I hit him with the checkpoint earlier, because there are certain shortcuts that require him to be level 3. Not really, like you can do the tornado attack still to take those shortcuts, but it's easier to do if he is level 3 because, you know, level 3, just do a homing attack and you create an updraft. But if you're not level 3, then you have to do the tornado attack, and doing the tornado attack is just more annoying and more finicky, I guess, because, you know, you don't have that good depth perception. By the way, be careful right here. You have to move Sonic slightly to the right or else he will fall into that bottomless pit. I have done it multiple times. But this is the checkpoint I'm referring to. I always tend to mess that up if Sonic's not level 3, but luckily I managed to hit it right there, so... There's also one a little bit later that I had to do, so... Hopefully I don't mess that one up either, but we're gonna keep going. By the way, this level is one of the only levels... oh, this is enemy right here actually is himself a harder version of the red enemy, so... You know, it's still the same enemy though. But this level is the only level that has its last opportunity for a key so early. This key right here is your last chance of keeping the key throughout the whole level, so... luckily I already had my key from earlier, but that's just to show you that... yep, that's the last key chance you get. Unless there's more, I'm not sure. I don't really come back to play this level if I'm playing like individual levels. But I always just make sure to always keep the first key that I get, I always try to make sure that I keep it until the end of the level. There's no special reward for it, but it's just more convenient that way. Like you just don't want to like have to look for the next key opportunity, you know. So by the way, this is the next checkpoint, or not checkpoint, shortcut, and I managed to get it. Whew. Scary stuff is all I could say. No, I messed up anyway, and I think I fell to my death. No, that is very unfortunate. Luckily, aha! See, it's a good thing I hit this checkpoint. But yeah, that's so. Luckily, that key is right there. What was I saying? Right. Those shortcuts are so annoying to take because unless Sonic is level 3, you have to hit your tornado attack on it. And if you don't, then you're falling to the bottom part, and you have to do that all over again, right? You have to do that all, you don't have to do it all over again. You have to go through the slowest part of, doing that all, right? So it's just annoying, in my opinion. It's just better if Sonic's level 3, just so I can have to homing it. I just have to homing attack the pull. I mean, see, as you can see right there, I did the tornado jump, but it just didn't register. And now it did. Luckily, I managed to recover it and hit the shortcut. I think it's because sometimes you hit the most bottom part, so there's no like registration on a tornado attack. Who knows? But luckily, we can just hit that, and also. Being up here means we don't have to go down there and hit all of those, whatever you call it, defeat all those enemies down there. Although, I think if you don't do that, then you have to, what do you call it? You have to, go through this section. You go too fast and you won't get the E-ring. That's what I'm trying to say, my bad. Sometimes I can't think. And especially since right now, since it's pretty late at night, not too late, but it is late, and I went too fast there. But I think taking all these shortcuts actually affects your A rank, so I don't know, for me it doesn't matter. I mean, I already died anyways, but every single time I play this level, I just can never get past a C rank, so I'm not too worried about the fact that I'm losing rank. I mean, the only thing that matters to me is the fact that I still have this key, and hopefully I get to, I still keep it, until the very end, right? So, turns out I'm turned around, so I'm just gonna use Tails to readjust myself, and I can keep going. You know what, since I already took all those shortcuts, I'm just gonna use that bounce and fly to this side right here. Because why would I ever want to put any more effort into anything than I have to, right? Am I right? College students? Yeah, here we are. This is luckily nearing the final section. After this, there's just one more gauntlet enemy wave, I guess, to defeat, and they're right here. And I'm just going to use Team Blast because I do not feel like defeating 3 heavily armored enemies with 1 having a helmet. Perfect.
That was close.
Hit that checkpoint. And then we get off to the final part of the level.
Wow! I managed to kill something so big!
The egg carrier is nothing compared to this.
And what another reference right there, the egg carrier, back to Sonic Adventure 1. I didn't play Sonic, I feel like for the record, yeah, I should mention, I didn't play Sonic Adventure 1 or 2 until way, way later when I was like maybe 13 years old. But you know, the thing is, at least I did play them, so... you know, but this final section, you just have to avoid the lasers that are being shot at you. And luckily, all you have to do is just hold down the B button with Sonic, and then you'll just speed by as fast as possible, and you'll miss this really, really big laser that's trying to hurt you. And then you can just self-destruct Eggman's base. Why he had 3 self-destruct buttons around his base, who knows. But luckily, that's the end of Final Fortress. And that's the end of all the regular stage levels.
Shoot. Not my day.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I'm not too worried about that E rank because luckily I still have the key to get the 7th Chaos Emerald. And luckily we unlocked battle mode for multiplayer. Unfortunately, because this is an emulator, I am not playing multiplayer. But anywho, here we are on the final level of, or the final special stage, special stage 2 of Act 7. And it's just pretty simple. As long as you avoid the bombs, I mean, look at this. I've already collected the Chaos Emerald, and that's supposed to be the last special stage, which is the hardest one, right? But it's pretty simple. Don't have to worry about anything, and there we go. We have all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and therefore we unlock the last story. But first, we have to defeat the other stories as well as still get through this story, where we have one final boss.
This time you won't get away!
Give it up! This looks like checkmate, Doctor.
Enough of this! Sonic, Tail, Knuckles! I'll defeat your maker! I'll show you what real evil is!
This is it, guys! Don't hold anything back!
Okay!
No worries! Got it! Here we go!
Alright, so this is the Egg Emperor, and the Egg Emperor for now is going on a straight runway, heading off into a big arena. Right now we just have to avoid his attacks, and it's simple. You'll see, it's a pretty simple boss fight once we get to the middle area. But honestly, all you have to do once you get to this middle area is just one thing, and that is switch to Tails, who should be level 2 by now, and just spam the heck out of Thunder Shoot. And nothing else, because as long as you keep using Thunder Shoot, he can't use his, he unfortunately can't use his shield. I wish I could get a better camera angle. There we go. That should be better. Oh, my teammates are getting a little bit hurt by these other robots, so I'm going to see if I can get rid of them. And then we can hit him with Team Blast to do some extra damage. And then once again swap back to Tails, because Tails again will disable his shield and you just can't use it, so that just makes it so much better to deal with. But unfortunately he goes off on his own, or he goes off to continue the runway trick. And if you get too far away from him, he'll actually do a supercharge at you that is impossible to avoid. As far as I'm aware, you cannot avoid it, so Make sure you don't get too far away from him. Just like what I'm doing right now. Yep, there he goes. I was trying to hit that balloon up there so that I can get Tails to level 3, but I don't think it matters too much right now because he's actually pretty close to being Dunzo. Alright, and then now that we're here, we can actually use Knuckles now because he is level 3, or get hit because of the hitbox of his gosh darn fire waves. And then that'll do it. And that was the Egg Emperor, and that was the final boss. And that is Team Sonic's story.
All right. You're finished, Eggman.
Boy, talk about cutting it close.
Not really.
Come on, tell me you weren't scared. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have had a chance.
Well, maybe you're right. Thanks, Knuckles. You too, Tails. Later, guys. I'm out of here.
Wait up, Sonic! Get back here!
Alright, and that was Team Sonic's story for Sonic Heroes. Again, this game for me is just so good. I can never tire of it. And sure, it has problems. You know, the levels are too long sometimes. It still has some glitches here and there. That might just be the emulation thing. And you know, Frog or Lost Jungle. Dear God. But honestly, I can never hate this game. So, you know, I do love it, and I hope showing this, I hope some of you guys pick it up maybe. But with that being said, I'll let the credits play out here, and I'll see you whenever I make the next story videos. So yeah, my name is David. I shall see y'all later.